Easy, guys. I put my pants on, just like the rest of you, one leg at a time. Except, once my pants are on, I make gold records.
Hey, what's going on, VC and everybody out there in YouTube land? Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem coming back. It's Kindle. And today I'm doing the best of 2024.
We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
These are all new releases that came out this year. And these are my top 5 picks. I'll try that again. These are my top 5 albums that were released this year. These aren't reissues. These are new albums by artists this year. New music, except for one, technically, I guess, isn't new music, but it's a new album that he put out that I really enjoyed. But first things first, we're going to start with some honorable mentions. And the first one that I want to shout out is Sharon is Karen. I talked about this a while back. This is Louis Golden. This is his project, pop punk. You can get this on Bandcamp, although he only did 200 vinyl releases, and so these could be sold out already, because I have number 170, yeah, sorry. I have number 170, but this is pop punk, really fun. Feel like Alkaline Trio, Blink-182, that type of stuff. You really like this. I think this album came in at under 30 minutes. Like I said, just a lot of fun. He wrote the songs all himself, played most of the instruments. I mean, there's some help on this, but he produced it himself, I know. Okay, he played guitar and sang. He had help on bass and drums. He had a little additional vocals, but I know he produced it himself. And you know, this was all him. He did all the hard work. Really cool stuff. Louis Golden. Follow him on Instagram, YouTube, although he doesn't really post videos on YouTube anymore, but really happy to be able to get one of these. So check it out. You can stream it. Another one that I'm going to show as an honorable mention, I did a whole video on this discography, but Hermanos Gutierrez, 2 brothers. This is all instrumental on the guitar. These guys are great. This wasn't my favorite album by them, and that's why it's an honorable mention, but I discovered these guys this year and I went back, bought their whole discography, did a whole video on that. But this is a great album still, nonetheless. Just that really great, almost cowboy movie, Western music. Just, you know, slide guitar, instrumental, finger picking, just very melodic sounding. Like I said, very spaghetti Western type. Feels like you're watching a movie. Very enjoyable. These guys are really good. This is put out by Easy Eye Sound, which is Dan Arbach of the Black Keys. He produced this. It's his label. So very good stuff. This one I honestly forgot about, and I was like, I really got to show this one as a honorable mention, because I'm such a big fan. Robbie Krieger. This came out January of this year, so been a long time, and I don't think anybody really ever showed this, and it's too bad because this is a great record. It's instrumental. Robbie Krieger, of course, the guitar player for the Doors. This is like a jazz fusion funk rock record, I would say. Very good. Robert Krieger and the Soul Savages. Like I said, this came out like January 14th or something. And I had to order this. No, I got this from Billy at Riverbend Records. None of my locals got this in, and this is just a great record. It's got, let's see, Robbie Krieger on guitar and sitars, Ed Roth on keyboards, Kevin Brendan on basses, and Franklin Vanderbilt on drums. yeah, this is just a great instrumental record. But like I said, think jazz, fusion, funk, and soul and rock all into one, and you got this record. This is a great album. Definitely stream it if you haven't, and if you can find it on vinyl, get it too, because it's great. And then the last honorable mention, this I discovered again through Billy Hurst at Riverbend Records. New Country, which I don't get into a lot of new country, but this is Zach Top. If you're a fan of late 80s and early 90s country music, this young kid is where it's at. Sounds like the radio. It sounds like 90s country music on the radio, and that's what that song is about. Young kid, great guitar player. He and Billy Strings did a cover of Ricky Skaggs' song, Don't Cheat in Our Hometown. Go stream that. Sounds really, really good. Both of them playing on that guitar, and both of them just sound really, really good. I wish that was on this record actually, but this is just a really good country album. So yeah, if you like that 80s and 90s sound, this guy is right up your alley, trust me. Zach Top. The album's called Cold Beer and Country Music. That's another one of the songs. It was a single as well. But to the top 5, not 10, but 5 albums that made my list. Top 5 albums of the year. Yes. Here we go. Number 5. And this one I talked about already, but it is The Cure's new album. Yes, The Cure. 16 years since they made a record, but The Cure, I gotta say, I was really impressed by this album. What was the name of the album again? Songs of a Lost World. Yeah, sorry. But I streamed this a lot before I bought it, listened to a lot of reviews before I bought it, and I was very impressed by it. And this is coming from a guy who is not really a Cure fan. This is actually the only Cure record I have in my collection. But I was just so impressed by the sound of this album. Very dark, very gloomy, very atmospheric, long intros, yes, but just, there's a lot of depth in this album, in my opinion, lyrically, sonically, musically, and I was just very impressed with it. Was very happy to pick this up, and like I said, this is from a guy who's not really the biggest Cure fan, and so, I mean, like I said, I know the hits from the 80s and all that stuff, and this, to me, it spoke to me, I guess you could say. I was very impressed with this album, liked it a lot, and so, yeah, number 5, Cure, Songs of a Lost World. If you haven't listened to it, which I'm sure you have because everyone's made a video on this record, very impressed with it. That's my number 5. Number 4, sticking with that country theme that I mentioned before, Billy Strings. Yeah, this album, Highway Prayers, just Billy being Billy with that guitar, and a lot of great songs on here. Really impressed with it. And I just love the way Billy plays, and there's just, I love that album cover too. Just a great cover and back cover, and I love the theme of the album. Road songs, really, just kind of a fun album. I like this better than his previous release, the one with his dad. I just wasn't a big fan of that one. And this may be my favorite record he's done so far, even better than Home. And so, yeah, I'm just very impressed with this record. I hope he keeps putting them out like this. So very, very happy with this. Thought it was really well done. So yeah, very, very, very cool. Number 3. Now this one is the one I was talking about when I said not really new music. And that is Slash's album. What is it called? Oh yeah, Orgy of the Damned. Quite the cover here, for sure. But this album, oh man, I remember when I heard that it was coming out, I was so excited. This is basically an album of him getting together with a lot of other great musicians, doing blues just straight up blues and the way Slash would do the blues. We got songs like The Pusher with Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes. We got Crossroads with Gary Clark Jr., Hoochie Coochie Man with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, Oh Well with Chris Stapleton, Key to the Highway with Dorothy, Awful Dream with Iggy Pop. That's probably the worst song on here, honestly. Born Under a Bad Sign with the great Paul Rogers. Papa Was a Rolling Stone with Demi Lovato, which I know a lot of people talked about how great that was, but I'll be honest with you, I think he could have gotten a better vocalist. It was good, but I think it could have been better. Killing Floor with Brian Johnson of AC/DC. Living in the City with Tosh Neal, which that's a great Stevie Wonder song. Stormy Night with Beth Hart, and then an actual instrumental piece that he wrote himself called Metal Chestnut. But this album's such a rocker. So many great blues songs on here, and he's just killing it on guitar. Love this album. Listen to it a lot. It just kills, just in your face, blues rock, just right at you. So this is definitely my number 3. So happy with this album. So happy that I picked it up. Great. If you haven't heard it, go get it. You'll love it. If you love blues, you love rock, you're gonna love that. If you love great guitar playing, you're just gonna love it. Number 2. All right, we're getting out of the top 2. And number 2, we're going with Mr. Johnny Blue Skies, or AKA Sturgill Simpson. So this one I was a little nervous about. Wasn't sure how it was going to sound. Wasn't sure what it was going to be like, because he had come off of those bluegrass albums, and this I was blown away by. This is such a great album. I loved it. He really showcases off, just his great writing ability, going in a few different directions. Whether it's a little bit of this psychedelic sounds, his ambient, just being a little out there, straight up country sound, a little bit of rock, a little bit of blues, a little bit of just beach music. Definitely going into his inner, self with a lot of stuff that happened in his life over the last few years, some sadness. First song called Swamp of Sadness, Scooter Blues, Who Am I, Right Kind of Dream. I mean, this is just a great album. A lot happening here. Very interesting cover. Passage du Desire, I guess, French. This is obviously he said he wasn't going to make any more records under Sturgill Simpson, so he's going with Johnny Blue Skies. It even says debut album here. If he's going to keep that, it is what it is, but as long as he's putting out records like this, I'm going to keep buying them. Was very happy with this. This made my number 2 of the year. Just a great album. I've listened to it a lot this year. Could not be any happier with the way it sounds. I picked up the gold vinyl. I know a lot of people complained about there being a lot of noise and stuff like that. I didn't have that issue. So if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. If you're a big fan of Sturgill, you'll love this. Great album. So that's my number 2. And my number 1, I said it was going to be my number 1 when I first got it, and there was no change. This is definitely my number 1 still, and that is the Lemon Twigs, their album. This is A Dream Is All We Know. I love this record. These guys, these brothers from upstate New York, just know how to write great songs with catchy hooks, with great harmonies. This is like if the Beach Boys and Beatles got together and said, let's make an album together, and this is what you got. Just so good. I love their style. I love their vocals. I love everything they do on this. This is just great stuff. I've heard nothing but good things about them from so many different people too. I love this album. Just so good. I didn't get a chance to see them this past year. They came close a couple times, but just never got the opportunity to see them. But this album, I did a whole review on this album with sound clips and everything. Just so impressed with this album through and through. There's not a bad song on this album. I mean, Surface Noise did a live stream this past Thursday talking about, you know, no skips on an album. To me, this is one of those albums. There's not a skippable track on it. Julian Lennon produced a song and co-wrote a song with him on this too. Very, very good. Just love this album through and through. So if you haven't heard this album, go stream it, buy it. You won't be disappointed. If you love that 60s, 70s, Wings, Beatles-esque, Beach Boys-esque, you know, harmony, hooky tunes that just get in your head. I think every song is probably about 3 minutes long or less. Just so good. Can't recommend this enough. Anyway, so that's my list, guys.
The best of the best of the best, sir.
That's my top 5 and some honorable mentions. If you liked what you heard, leave me that old thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me some comments. Anyway, vinyl tag coming soon. And until next time, peace and love. See you next time. Bye.